What is up, my good friends? Part 4 in the Flask GraphQL and PI endpoint. So in the last video we ended up having something over here that we could register and do so many stuff with the user. So in this video I'll be building the main application, which I promised would be an e-commerce website. So let us get into it without much ado. Just open over here and create a new, inside your project, create a new package and call it product, or depending on what your application is about. But mine, I'll just call it product because it's an e-commerce. Create new and then just package, and then just call it product. I'm calling it that because that is what my application does. The first thing we want to do is build our model. So inside here, I'll just create a new file and call it models.py. Models.py. So we need to import few things, like for instance, we will need SQL, everything from SQL Alchemy, everything, and then let us use that and then we will see what happens. So our product will always be in category, and it will also have somebody who is posting it. So let us first start by creating a model for category and just call it extend from base. So I think I need to import this, so just that way. And then it has some few things. It has ID. So first thing, we let us define the table name, which in our case we'll just call it category. And then it has ID, which in our case is just column, and then it's type integer. Okay, I finally have this model for category. So if you don't know how to build a model, then I think you might want to watch the second or first video where I was building the user model, because the thing is the same. You just have to know the fields that you want your model to have. So again, I'll build another one for product with the common fields, and then I'll show you the other parts. So you see over here I have product, and then it just has table name that, and all these other fields, as you can see, description, price, and quantity. And then let us create relationship for owner. So I'll just say owner ID is, in this case, this. So it's just of type integer, and then it's a foreign key, and then it gets from user.id, and then I say it's nullable to be false because I don't want that field to be null. Now let us create a relationship. So first start by importing SQL ORM relationship, and then also import backref from the same place. And then we say lazy to be true, and then we see this is creating a relationship between owner and user. I hope you know how to create these things. Another thing we need to do is for category, it almost the same thing, but now instead of being owner, we can say category, and owner here is category. And then just backref is products, then category we can put here to be category, and then over here again to be category. So this is it for the relationship and the product. And just to have something to print out whenever we are printing the product, or when if we'll be using Flask admin, then we use this. So I hope it's clear what we have done over here. So let us go into product and create a new file again and call it serializer. So this is the part I might want to explain because model was really easy. That's why I did not want to take much time there. So over here, import these things very fast. So you see I'm importing product and category, then I'm importing graphene and also relays and SQL Alchemy object type. So let us create for class category type. So I know at some point you might not want to return category, but whenever you will be getting subclass like inside product, and then you want to get the product category, then you need to make this category type, even if you don't need to always resolve it, but you must have it. So have it there. And then now let us just say pk. I think you already saw what pk does. We are trying to get the integer field instead of the node at some point. Let us just say to be supposed to be the id of the category, and then finally let us make class meta. So this class meta is basically taking our model and the nodes or relay we want. So for here we can say model, and in this case it's category, and then just say interfaces. In this case it's graphing.relay.node, or I imported relay, so I'll just say relay.node. And since it's a tuple, then you might want to have that comma over there. So that is for category. So for product it will be the same thing, but now instead of doing this, our thing here would be product. So I hope that helps, and I know again over here we need to say it's product. Okay, over there we need to say product type, and then just the same thing. So let us go and start working inside our schema. So create a new file called schema. So and then just import everything instead of importing one thing, because we might want to use it severally. And just say class product query, or let us just call it query. So inside our query it's graphing.object type. I'm doing this because I think you already saw me in the previous video what I did, so I'll just continue. So and then now we need to resolve our products. So we'll resolve products and product. So it's for products we will use SQL alchemy connection field. So just say SQL so then just import it as it is, and then this text in product.connection, because we will be using nodes, then we must say that's connection. So we'll say product type dot connection, then just import that from the serializer. So if we have products, then we might again need product which with single, but this is just a field, so we'll say graphing.field. So I think for products, I think, if you don't want to use nodes, then you could just say that it's graphing.list over here instead of connection, and then just remove this part. But since we are using relays and nodes so that it can allow us to do pagination and such, then we will go with that. So but for field you don't need this connection part, so just do that. But we know that whenever you're resolving a single product, then you need id, so we'll say pk. In our case, let us call the field pk, and then we know that it's of type integer because that is the thing we are returning. So just come and say dot integer that way. So whenever you try to return a single product, then you will need to pass the id as pk of the product. So that is it. Now let us make resource for this. Let us first say it's class method, just so that it can suggest. I know it will have autocomplete, so resolve, and then say products for the first part, and then it creates CLS. So the second field is just this empty thing you might want to do, because, and then say info, and then you finally want to do the pk, and just say args and quags. So and finally keyword arguments. So arguments and keyword arguments. So over here you know that you want to return all products, so just come and say return product dot query dot all. So I hope that was simple. I know it's really simple. So we need to finally make for our single product. So we take the same thing, then just put over here, and then inside of product we say product, and then info, and then we know that over here actually it's not taking pk. I don't know how to do that. And then we know we will be filtering one, so just say filter by, and then we know that we need to have this pk to be the id. So I hope that is clear. We are getting product by given id, but we are calling it pk. So if for instance you are trying to limit user to login and wherever, as you saw, then you could just come over here and say just query, and then just say, so you could say this way. So this will limit this function and this resolve to only users who are logged in. So this gets the JSON web token from the GraphQL out. So whenever you want to limit method to logged in users, then you want to do this. But since it's an e-commerce, you want to allow guest users to see. So we'll remove that. And now let us go and add this query inside our config schema over here. So over here, just you see so right now our query is just taking one query. So I want us to put this query into another place that at least can support. So just say class query. So this class query will be again GraphQL dot object type, but we know that we have queries that already exist, for instance this one. So if you have several queries, then you just put them over here like that, and that is fine. And then just say pass, and then we have another one again for, we know that inside schemas again for products we have schema. So just take the same thing and maybe duplicate this, just add a comma over here and say that it's again from products.schema query pass. So we have this. Now let us know, we know again we need to make migration. So inside over here we need to import from products.models, just import everything so that we can access it in SQL in Alembic, so that we can make migration. So over here down, just come and say Alembic, and then just say vision, then double dash, double minus, and then auto generate. And then we need to name these. Let us say this migration we are trying to create is for products. Just hit enter, and you see it created category and products, and it added. So we finally need just to make the headers. Just say Alembic and then just headers, and then upgrade headers. Heads. I'm really sorry, I'm thinking about headers, I don't know why. So if we've done that, then just make sure that you restart the server so that you can know of the new things we just added. So mutation is over here, but that's not what we want. Actually we want queries, and right now we have only me. I think it's because we're forgetting something. So it's over here, it's because I'm saying out.schema, so I should resolve to this schema. Just make sure you did that and restart again the server. Make sure that you're using this again. If you make a method for mutation over here, for instance, we can just make that very fast, because I might find myself again forgetting it very much. So just know that you can always extend it like this, and then just say it's a graphing.object type, and then just over here just pass, because it mutations will be from somewhere else, and make sure that your mutation knows that you are using these current mutations like that. Just simple like that, because right now we don't have mutation for this. Let us just refresh this, but I know it should be working. So query, so you see we have product, and you see product tag id for given thing. So let me make mutation for, so in the next video we will make mutation for creating products, so that at least we can add product and see, and then maybe we can just start querying, or I may decide to use admin, which because I think the SQL admin, because I think that is easy, but I will make mutation for adding product. So let us meet in the next video. Have a nice time and don't forget to subscribe.